Welcome to the Second Season Podcast, a podcast for athletes, entrepreneurs, and families chasing legacy. I'm Mason.
And I'm Danny.
And today we have a special guest and my brother, my actual blood brother, Zack. We call him Z, business partner to both of us, business partner and best friend to me my entire life. Z, thanks for being on, man.
Appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you here. This is great.
Yeah, so as you hear me say a lot, like, hey, I got a lot of brothers and friends in this space. Danny being one of them. Zack is my actually only real blood brother, right?
Older brother, right?
Older brother. I'm little bro in this dynamic duo. But I've been blessed to be the little brother of my brother Zack my whole life. So today we're gonna dive into some valuable things, some life lessons that we've walked out together that I think will resonate with a lot of people that are listening to this. And the first thing is what athletes get wrong about life after sports. And I think that all three of us, can relate to this in a very heavy way.
For sure.
And my gut tells me that if you're listening to this right now and you are an ex-athlete, that you're going to be able to relate to this as well.
100%.
And, as it's basketball season right now here in the state of Michigan, this is something that's on my mind because I see all of these kids that their basketball careers are coming to an end, right? Yep. And I remember when I was 17, 18 and feeling like that and the unknown, like thinking that your life is coming.
Yeah, you just don't know.
To an end. And that's wrong, right? Yeah. Right? But you only know what you know. Yeah. So DK, chime in a little bit on this. Like, what do you think athletes get wrong about thinking about their life after sports?
I mean, I think when we talk about life after sports, this doesn't even have to be like ex-college hoopers. Like this could be someone who's in high school, they're graduating their senior year, they're going to college, or they're going to trade school, they're ready to start their working journey in the real world. You got to let it run its course. Like you're not going to figure it out in one day. And it's hard to say because you work your ass off every day playing sports. That's your purpose. And then you get to a point where you wake up the next morning and it's not about that. Yep. And it's almost like you're jumping into like a cold plunge and you're like, you know how you lose your breath a little bit?
So good.
And you're trying to like, okay, what am I going to do next? And it's never as serious as you think it is. And it's never, I don't know. I don't want to say like not as serious as you think it is, but it's like you just got to let it run its course. Show up every day.
That's so good.
Yeah, I think, it's like kids might feel like they're going to feel less important or like no one cares now because they're not like the man playing basketball. And like my day was like me not being in the paper anymore.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Not like having the chatter around school or like stuff like that. I mean, today's probably kids not being on Instagram with their highlight of the district game and stuff like that. But I think that what they'll find is like people like the person more than the athlete, at the end of the day.
That's a great line.
So it's like, yes, they like watching you play or watching you succeed. Yeah. But they also like you.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go through life after sports.
Yeah.
Moving on from there.
And even on top of that, like getting into the real world, it's a great line. Like business is a contact sport.
Yeah.
And it's about relationships. It's about building relationships with other people in your community. Yeah. And it's a super fulfilling thing and just finding purpose with whatever you want to do. Building your career, building your company, providing value to others, whatever that's going to look like.
So. Yeah, Z just said something super powerful. It's like they like the person more than the athlete. And I think, and like it just kind of clicked in my mind. That's why when I talk to young kids, I always, like when I brag about them or like publicly cheer them on, I always am like, hey, better kid than Hooper.
Yeah.
Because I want them to hold on to that, right? And like that translates into the business world where it's like no matter how much, we've said this a couple of times, no matter how much money you make, it's like the third, fourth most important thing,
100%.
Right? Where you got your family, your kids, your health, etc. Right? So,
for sure.
And yeah, Z, like it's like you're doing stuff with a purpose without stands full cheering you on for it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you got this is why it's so important to have a supportive spouse. We talk about this a lot.
Dude,
that we all are so blessed to have.
So important.
Because like that's who's cheering you on.
That's a rock, man.
And like to piggyback off that, it's all about perspective, right? Like, you know, your world when you're that age or you're playing or whatever is basketball or your sport or whatever you're playing is the most rewarding thing in your life.
Yep.
And you cling on to that. But the reality is there's so much more rewarding things in life that are coming, which is finding your spouse, like your wife, having a family, in my opinion, having kids, you know, having your health, having good friendships, having things that are more rewarding maybe than that basketball game. But the reality is too is like I'm still playing.
Yeah.
So
we're going hoop today.
So, you know, so it's not necessarily that the basketball or sport stops. It's maybe the lights on you stop.
Yeah, it's so good.
The tension stops, but you can still play ball. You can still be active.
Segueing off of that, how do you think that hooping prepared you for the business world that you're in now? What does that look like?
Well, I think there's a lot of like, no matter what, you can't quit moments.
Dude.
You know, like no matter what. And I've had a lot of those in my life with sports and basketball. Like, no matter what, no one's really coming to save you. You could look up at your parents in the stands, or your best friend on the team, or the coach, but really it's you. And how does it prepare you of going through the adversity, going through things with your teammates, working with people through pressure, hard times? Like, I feel like basketball has made pressure okay for me in my life.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Pressure is a privilege.
It is.
Too.
And I'm the type that, like, I like the ball in my hands if the game's tied and we're playing pickup.
Love it, yeah.
Like,
bet on yourself.
I like stuff like that. But that's something I grew into, you know? Something that, you know, happens with just success and with failures. So with highs and lows.
So when you were wrapping up your hooping career, did you I don't even know this. Did you jump right into your corporate life, or like what did that look like to where you're at now?
Yeah, so good question. I played Grand Ledge High School. I played at Lansing Community College. I then was gonna potentially walk on at Central, end up playing on their club team. So played late also into college. I didn't just stop at high school. Got done and moved to Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Mason luckily took me in, and that's time for another story.
Younger bro come to save the day.
Stayed in Mason's basement in Grand Rapids, and we had it continued to play even Y leagues, you know, other stuff like that. And, you know, transitioning from that not playing all the time in that college career, and then jumping right into what was the car dealership life.
Okay, yeah.
You know, young.
So you went right into
single guy. Yeah, I mean, end up cutting my teeth in the car business, also with Mason, also with some good friends of ours, to learn that grind.
What a journey that was.
In my 20s.
Grind.
Of, you know, the awesome thing is we had never been in car sales before, but, you know, both of us started as a salesman in the corner and left as the general manager when it was our time to leave. So, and it wasn't because we're better than anybody else. It was more just because how we treated the team, how we rallied the team, how we treated people, and how we grew our client base in auto sales.
Was there a moment, or was there something that happened when you were working at the car dealership? Because how long were you there with them? How many years?
2013 to 2020. So 7.5 years.
That's a long time to work corporate. So what happened? Where you're just like, I don't know, maybe got married, had kids, want to have a family. Like you were just.
I remember the day. I know.
Oh, really?
I remember the day it happened.
He said, I remember the day. It's like I'm out.
So my son was born in May of 2020 during COVID.
Okay.
It was a really weird time. But, you know, I remember he was a few months old and I was back at work, which is the car dealership, which provided me many things in my life that I'm blessed to have at this point in time.
Yeah.
And I remember we had just had a good month, and I would say that I just made good income for this month. I was coming into work, but it's long days and long hours in the car business, long weeks, grind. And my son was a few months old, and I remember I would leave at dark, get home at dark, leave at dark, get home at dark. Well, I had a FaceTime in my office at the car dealership, and this is probably like day 1 or 2 after one of the best months I've had. And I hadn't seen my son in like 3 days because of my schedule. He's on a sleep schedule. I'm up. Well, I saw he looked different on my phone, like he had grew, almost like he had changed, and I hadn't seen it. And like I was gone. I was missing, you know.
Yeah.
And I decided that I didn't want to live my life through a FaceTime anymore. And I started just making plans on how I could make a change in my life, you know, to get out of the dealership world, but to still be able to help people, still be able to have potentially the type of income, still be able to do all these things. But I remember that day, it was like early fall when it happened, and I was mid-December, I had put my notice in and I left. So it was
Good
a couple
for you.
months later. And
Dude, that had to have been scary though.
it was scary. I mean,
Were you working there too? Were you still there?
No,
or
I had left before for a similar moment that that Z just shared that I experienced. Right. I had kids young. Right. So, but no, it's funny. I didn't know you were gonna ask him that, and I just literally I'm thinking here, like about conversations, like yo, like, and it makes me emotional because I'm like yo, it doesn't matter about the money, like bro, your life with your kids, bro, like. If you could just get healthy, you know, be in the gym, we could hoop, like we're there every day, like bro, we will make the money, bro.
Yeah. Dude, I'll say for you, like I remember when we were at, this was you and me, we went and played Boulder Creek last summer, and we were talking about it was, I don't know, we probably had like a noon tea time, and it was just you and me, and we went out and we played 9, and we were just talking about like work-life balance and the beauty of what we do, and we are so fortunate to be able to kind of make our own schedule and build the business the way that we want to build it. And I'm still in this like hyper growth, like I feel like I got to work 12 hours a day. And you're like, dude, I remember you saying, you're like, I was there at one point, but now it's more important for me I want to spend more time with my kids and my family. And he's like, the money's not nearly as important as it used to be. And just how I prioritized it. And so you're like, even if I only work a couple hours a day and I can spend time with my wife, I can spend time with my kids and be in their life, like that is 1,000% more worth it.
And the beautiful thing
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about what we all do, reality is, sometimes I catch up at night. Sometimes I work early in the morning. Sometimes it's the flexibility, but keeping in constant communication with your people so they know they're in the know of what's going on. But also being able to live a lifestyle where I drop my kids off every day. I pick them up every day. I've never
and you probably love it.
I've never missed a little school event of a recital or a Valentine's party because I prioritize that in my life now because things are not as important to me as the people in my house. Like, it's just the reality that I live in. Like, there's no amount of money or things that you could give me, you know, within reason. I know people have to travel for work and they're gone, and it's not any knock on people that have to go
100%.
and punch the clock or be at an office.
Just a preference.
And it's not to toot my horn of this is what I get to do, but there is happiness in the freedom. There is. And now how do you balance that freedom with accountability and staying on the grind, being on yourself? Because another thing about athletes is the competition, when you're done playing, the competition stops against other people, but it starts with yourself. You got to compete with yourself every day.
In those days, like I know all three of us can talk about it, but it's like I remember those days of where you're getting started and you're trying to build something from nothing, and there's no guarantee of how it's going to play out, but you just
it's the feeling in your gut.
You just wake up in the morning of you're like, this is just what we do.
You know. And that's why
it's who you are,
bro.
And it's so hard though. Like it is such a, you know, I'm probably in a little bit of a different spot, right? Like I'm getting married this summer. I don't have a ton of, and we've talked about this. I don't have a ton of other responsibilities right now, but it still doesn't mean it's not hard. So I can only imagine what it's like when you've got kids and you're quitting your great corporate
it was
W2
scary.
job.
It was scary as shit, and that's why I just got emotional there because nobody believed but our soul and our gut, bro, and us two.
Everyone's probably telling you to stay.
100%.
Like, why are you going to leave this
You grew
great
up
job?
modest. You grew up like look at the money that you make. What the heck are you doing? You're never going to make this money. But there's something in your gut and your soul that just knows, and it's like everybody around you is going to tell you no. And that's when you go and do what they're telling you not to do, bro.
Yeah.
And I believed in it so much I could go to the top of a fucking mountain and scream it.
Yeah.
But even though he was my best friend and brother at the time, I was trying to convince him of what this other side was. Like, hey, this fear is not real. This is gonna be tough. I remember, so his father-in-law, who is somebody I look up to a ton, he looks up to a ton, leader in the town that we grew up in, you know, SWAT, special forces, one of the most badass dudes you've ever met in your life. And
Amazing dude.
you know, I'm known for being, you know, disgustingly positive. So Z calls his father-in-law to tell him what he's thinking about doing. He's like, what'd Mason say? It's going to be easy. He's like, actually, no. He said, buckle up for some of the toughest shit you're ever about to go through, but it's going to be worth it.
Yes, for sure.
And it's just crazy. Like it's so, we talk about this a lot, but like the fear of something, the thought of it is more scary than what the thing actually is. You guys talked about pressure earlier, and I was talking to some young hoopers this week, and I said, bro, pressure really doesn't exist if you're prepared. Like, if you are prepared, the thought of something will always be bigger than when you're
100%.
in the moment, because when you're in the moment, you fall back to your preparation. And when you fall back to your preparation, pressure isn't a thing. I don't care if there's 100,000 people watching you do something, if it's your kid looking out the window. In our situation, did you pass your NMLS? Like that was like pressure, right? But when you're prepared and you're in the moment, your mind, as an ex-athlete, ex-competitor, you just tap into fall back to your training. That's a military thing as well. They're like, hey, always just fall back to
the
your
norm. It's just what you do.
Fall back to your preparation.
Yeah. And I'll tell, I mean, I think another thing too is like, I don't know, I've always been a dreamer. I know you guys are dreamers. Like, you guys can do anything you want in this world. Like, anything you want. Like, if you wanted to sell everything and move to Alaska and live off the land, like, you could do it. If you wanted to go develop skyscrapers in Houston, Texas, like, there's a way that you could figure out how to do it. So it's like, don't ever sell yourself short on what you guys want to do in this world, because it's, I mean, it is literally unlimited depending on how bad do you want it. Like, so.
And I would say too, it's even when we were making change and transition, you think positive, but then you also say, okay, what's the worst that could happen? What if I fall on my face and I quote unquote fail, or I can't do it, or something doesn't work out? Knowing who I am as a person and what I could bring to the table, I could go into any dealership back to that life and get hired. I could have
figured out.
I could have done it. There's ways, there's support systems around you. There's things that happen, and we talk about pressure like openly. When I left the car business, you know, a couple kids from middle class Lansing, that when you had $20 in your pocket, you felt great at the football game.
I still feel rich when I got $20 cash in my pocket.
But making the best money I have, you know, when I left there, you know, I took a 6-figure pay cut for 2 years straight.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that I'm not so happy that I made the choice right now, but the journey of those few years, of those times, in what can happen and what the pressure and lifestyle changes, that is what can also...
That's how I met you guys.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? So when we met...
First day.
Dude, when we met it... So we were at a Grand Rapids Gold game. This is 2022. Summer of 2022, I think. And that was literally like the day you guys joined North Point, right? That's so crazy.
So we're going to segue a little bit, because that just triggered me a thought on like the dark period that no one talks about. Like the dark period that when you choose yourself and you go on your journey, you chase that dream. The dream has to be powerful enough to get you through the dark period. For you and I, the kids, the wives, the life, our health, being able to be active, like that dream was big enough to get you through the dark period, to get me through the dark period. Like my day one friends know I used to be obsessed with sneakers, bro. Like sneakers was like my currency back in the day. Like I'm waiting, and my mom's dropping me off at 4 o'clock in the morning at the Lansing Mall, bro. I got $210 in my pocket, hoping somebody doesn't come and, you know, try to beat my ass and take my money, right? I'm like, no, I'm getting the 113 at either Finish Line or Foot Locker. And if I can't get a 13, I'm getting 14. But with all that being said, that dark period for me, it's crazy. The earlier obsessions in my life, it got me through that. I sold almost 40 grand worth of sneakers just to pay the mortgage, bro. Like I bet on myself without knowing anything. I had a little bit of money saved up. I thought it was a lot, bro. Went like that. And the dark period is actually at night when it's dark and it's just UVU looking at your ceiling.
Bro, and there's so many sleepless nights.
Bro.
I still have them. I woke up, this is Monday morning, like 3:30. So Sarah was in Charleston for a bachelorette party. And I was like, okay, I know I got so much stuff to do this week. And I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. I just couldn't go back to bed. You know how you wake up and you lay down, you're looking at the ceiling, your mind just starts racing. You're like, I got to do this and I got to do this. And so you get up and you just do what you got to do.
I had a leg brace on for 7 years with 8 knee surgeries, bro. And I used to remember my mom used to sleep on the couch behind me. I used to sleep on the living room floor. And that dark period, that started early for me, bro. That started at 19.
Yeah.
Where like I literally couldn't pee without my mom's help because I'm like getting around. I'm on meds because I just had another knee surgery. And I remember staring up at the ceiling, bro, in the dark, where you really can't see the ceiling. But you know, like there's nothing up, you're just looking at it.
Yeah.
But that is when I think, for me, my switch happened. Like that's before any success in the business world, before making any money. It was like, okay, here's everything that's a part of your identity and taken from me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm in the dark.
Ground zero.
Literally in the dark. What's next for me? Right? Like, and I know that dark period for you, like your dream was big enough to get you through that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you talk about dark periods, it's tough times, it's stuff that, you know, you do bet on yourself, or you do go self-employed, or 100% commission, or hey, start over type of thing, or build your own network and work on your personal brand and network rather than getting leads and doing, like, you know, having stuff more or less handed off to you. What helps me through the dark period is I get to work with my brother every day. I get to go to the gym every day if I want.
Yep.
I get to see my kids whenever I want. I get to find the positive in the lifestyle that gets me through the dark period, because as much as what people may think when they look at all of us, everything isn't always sunshine and rainbows,
Right.
and a lot of different things. But when you have the support system of your wife, you have, you know, the positive things going on throughout your life to kind of balance out those maybe bad thoughts or dark times or tough times or tight times, stuff like that, where you realize like, hey man, like I got it pretty good. Now how do I just bounce back from whatever I'm feeling like?
Yeah.
You can find that perspective.
And the other great thing about our industry is like everyone who's self-motivated and they're trying to build their own business, like we're all in the same boat. Like people understand it. Like everyone has problems.
Yep.
Everyone's got things they're going through.
Yep.
And being able to be around good people, like it's a bonus.
Well, bro,
it's real.
The beautiful thing too, real quick, is what I've always told my sales guys at the dealership world, what I tell myself, what I sometimes tell our team here in Grand Rapids, the most beautiful thing about what we do for a living is, if you want to raise, give yourself one. You know, if you want to raise, give yourself one. You got debt, you got things going on, give yourself one. Make more appointments, do more calls, do more actual sales, do more farming, like you can do that. You're not stuck in a place where you're making the same amount every single month, no matter what. Here's what's coming in. Mm-hmm. So the beauty is, the sky really is the limit. Mm-hmm. The dark times is, where's it coming from? Like, where's it going to happen? Where is it going to happen? How's it going to structure? Like, that's the dark times. But the beauty is you can control the destiny of, I can pay off my debt. I can get that car. I could do, like, you know, whatever that you have that's in front of you, you know?
Yes, I'll share this quick story. So I have a deal. I've got a house that I'm closing on here March 19th. What's the day? 4th? This is a lead. I kid you not, I've called this lead like over 60 times the past 2 years, bro. Like I just knew it. I just knew at some point. that it was going to be a deal. But it's one of the. What's that?
Think of them and call
No, dude. I live by my like task. Like I live in my CRM in the morning.
About that a long time ago.
Like, dude, like every lead that comes in my system, like they're either going to get an automated text from me or they're going to get a phone call from me at least 4 times a year. Like that's my quarterly drip. So like This lead, I've been working on this for over 2 years. I've called this lady over 60 times, probably texted her over 20 times. And I just knew it was going to be a deal, but it's one of those things where it's like, where are you going to get this business from? So it's just being on top of mind, bro.
You're driving around, you're door knocking, you're putting signs up saying we buy houses.
Dude, I've got an appointment today.
It as well. You're not only just using a quick referral here or there. You're also still hungry to go.
Dude, I have an appointment today from my foundation guy who does the foundation work on our projects. Yep. Called me a couple days ago. Hey, Danny, I've done a lot of work on this house in East Grand Rapids. It needs some work. I don't really know the numbers on this, but they want to sell it. I think it might be a good fit for you. It's my foundation guy. Like, it's just build a network.
But it's who you do your life with.
Yeah.
That becomes who is in your ecosystem of business no matter what.
100%. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just hit me as you guys are talking about this, because it's like the discipline gap between athletes and non-athletes. If I think of like us and then all of our closest friends, I don't care what sport it was or what involvement, like, group or whatever it is, like that discipline gap, it starts early in their life with the foundation in all of our lives. But then it really is the foundation for getting through the dark period, being disciplined enough to be like, dude, like my dream is big enough. My dream is worth it for me to stack these days. And then the discipline gap of when you get through the dark period and you get to the brighter days, how can I continue to double down?
Dude, that's the hardest part.
Because
dude, that's
think about
hard.
it like this. Think about like a dude in the league who finally made it to the league. Now he's averaging 11. Now he's averaging 17. Dude's averaging like 21. So like that discipline gap of him being from like good to like great legend status. It's like he found the dream was big enough for his whole life of training to get to the league. Then he got there. His soul and his mind's like, bro, I told you I knew you belonged, right? So now he knows he belongs there. But then how disciplined can you be at that point?
Dude, that's
to go from averaging 6 as a rookie to averaging 21 in your third or fourth year.
It's a whole new chapter.
Bro, and that discipline gap for not just pro athletes, the dudes who, like you said, Z, it's like, bro, it's not because we think we're better than anybody else, but like you start at a corporate company, you leave as the boss sort of thing. Like that discipline gap is really what, like, in my opinion, I think of all of the successful people around us, they have that.
Yeah.
They have that.
Yeah.
Sports are so important, bro, for that.
The hard thing, too, for me, and I think for a lot of us, is like once you get through that dark period, because everyone goes through it, everyone has problems that come up. It's like, okay, now you're actually making some money. You've got your business. You've got your pipeline. What do we do next? Who do we hire? What does this look like? What do we want our business to look like? And so it's that's where I'm at now, where I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's my next hire going to be? What do I really want to scale?
How do you find ways to continue to grow?
Yes, and continue to build your skill set, and just where you get your purpose.
Yep.
I remember wholesaling deals in GR back in 2022, and like when I was making a 30% split on whatever our wholesale fee was. So in Grand Rapids, like an average wholesale fee, for example, let's say is $10,000. So I was making $3,000 for every deal that I sold. And I remember when I would get that wire for $3,000 when I was first starting, dude, and you would get this like major rush.
Oh yeah.
And now, I mean, $3,000's a lot of money, but it's like now that you're doing more projects and larger projects, like I don't want to say it becomes more normal. Like I don't want it to come off the wrong way, but it's like I still want to like chase and continue to grow and build what that used to feel like, because I think people want that.
I think this is all reps. Right?
Yeah.
Like the more deals you do,
the
more stuff you see, the more obstacles you got to get around, or the stuff that you experience. The more dollar signs you see of this amount or that amount, it's not about the amount. It's become motionless for you.
I know.
Because you're so good at what you do that it doesn't matter about the 3,000 or the 30,000. That's just how you season yourself for the perspective that you have.
Yeah.
It's the same way I treat somebody that's doing $100,000 purchase or $1 million purchase.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think that rush of like, I wish I still had that like feeling that I used to have. And it's like, I don't know.
Can I be real with you?
Yeah.
the feeling transitions to having nothing to do with the money.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where that's why it doesn't matter. Like I'm like,
100%.
even if I like make this, I'm like,
Everything else is gonna give you
The rush.
that's why we do stuff like this.
The rush is your life, bro.
Yeah.
And then what I have found, I mean, keep in mind, Z and I used to be like, bro, okay, if you could make 40 grand and I could make 40 grand and we could like find a neighborhood our kids could grow up in and there's 80 between us, like we could figure this shit out. I don't care if I got to eat a shit sandwich or go rake leaves or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
But like your mind, we talk about this a lot, it's never as good as you fantasize it to be.
Yeah.
So like I see this a lot of employees that I have that are dogs. I only hire dog employees, right? Like our dogs, right? And I see, especially some of our boys right now, going from good to great. And on that journey from good to great, the reality is what you first thought would satisfy you on your journey from good to great, which is when that paycheck hits on our case on the 15th.
100%.
It actually only feels good for about 5 seconds.
I know. And then you're like, yeah.
So what used to satisfy you for 2 days, get paid on a Friday, I'm feeling right. You know what I'm saying? I'm going out on Saturday with my friends. Like, so like the joy of the material used to hold more weight than really what it does now. And so like, it doesn't matter what that number is.
So true.
As you continue to grow it, it's not going to fill your cup.
It becomes less important.
It's less important. But here's the thing. It's not less valuable to what we have going on because, as you know, I am for go make your bread, take care of your family. There is so much good you can do when you make money, right? There's so much impact that you can make. So like
100%.
I'm for that and I grind at that. But I'm just being real that the reason why I am how I am, the only rush that you get from when you were 18 or 16, you thought you would get from a paycheck is
You got
from
another thing coming.
It's from the gym, it's from your family, it's from your friendships.
Yeah.
Bro, that's it.
That's why we started that's another reason why we started the podcast.
100%.
It's just something that we like to do.
And
it's a lot of
in DK,
yeah.
and then you make more money.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all
But it's not about the money.
It's not about, like,
It's not
money
about the
less
money.
Important. What it's about is it's just necessary.
Yeah.
To now go get that feeling of what you do love to have,
Yeah.
which is the experiences or your friendships or going to a game or going golfing or taking a trip, stuff like that. It's just the necessary part of
Yeah.
achieving that feeling in your other parts of your life. You
Yeah.
know? Like that's it.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I find it interesting too, like generation wise, like I feel like my parents and we didn't, and it's not a good or a bad thing, but we just didn't talk about money.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like now in our generation, and I think we're surrounded by people who are trying to push standards and build their business. Like
Agreed.
we talk about money, and I don't personally, I don't think there's an issue. I don't think there's an issue with talking about
There's
money.
not. Why are we hiding from it? Noah and I were here at Forward, and Dan Fleshman, who I think that's how you say it, Dan Fleshman, amazing business dude. You guys would know who this dude is. The first thing he talks about is, hey, when we were kids, raise your hand if it was shunned to talk about money. Inside your house, with your aunts and uncles, with you don't talk about money.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, dude, we talk about money.
We
for sure.
need to talk about money, bro, because it's not to idolize it, it's to be aware of what it can do. And Carol and I talk about this a lot with the boys because I want to talk about money with the boys, not in a way for them to go talk about money with their friends, but them to know why I am how I am and why I'm trying to raise them the way.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? So that education gap, that's when Noah and I, 4 years ago, I told Z, I said, bro, we're going out on our own. I got to give the goods away for 10 years. If I give the goods away for 10 years, you'll be 40, I'll be 38. No matter what we do, everyone's going to know what we do. They're going to know who we are.
Yeah.
And the world will be ours. Well, it didn't take that long. It doesn't take 10 years.
Yeah.
You can accomplish so much in 10 years that there's no way to even put on what could I accomplish in 10 years.
You overestimate, what's the saying?
1
You
year.
1 year.
Overestimate what you can do in 1 year.
Underestimate what you can do in 5 years.
Amen.
3 years.
Amen, bro.
So,
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. So with all that being said, we can't wrap up today without the audience and our friends and people hearing a little bit about Z and I shared a bedroom, bro, until we were like I don't know, when did I move out? 17, or you moved, yeah, or like, bro, like, we were literally with each other in every phase of our life.
Still are.
So, and we still are. What a blessing.
Still are.
Right? So I know you wanted to ask him, like, something about some sort of story.
Yeah, some story, some memory you've got when you were a childhood or in high school, like.
Man, I mean, there's just so many.
I'm sure.
And just thinking about just all the different stages of life, I could give you a story during every stage. Like, it's wild. People say all the time, like, how do you work with your brother? Or I'd go crazy, or I'd do this. And like, we've just been close our whole life. Our friends always intersected.
Yep.
Like, he'd either hang out with my friends. I became good friends with his friends. I started getting mad. Like, I wasn't going to the parties he was going to.
Yeah.
Even though they were 2 years younger than me. But, when it was like, Steve and, the other guys that, me and Mace had we become friends with, but I was gravitating to his friends, he was gravitating to mine.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing ball with us. He was going. He was pretending to be me at some place.
Big gift. Big gift. Having a brother who looked like me with his ID and playing off the grades, that was a big gift.
One story I'll tell is I used to.
That's funny.
I would go in once I turned a fresh 21. I would go in to the bar. I would have maybe a girl or a friend or somebody then take my ID from me in the bar, go back outside like they're gonna smoke or do something. Well, they end up bumping shoulders with Mason. Mason grabs my ID, comes right in and checks in with the bouncer. Now we're both in.
Yeah.
Get my ID back from whatever. So that was always funny.
That's so funny.
And it's true that happened.
Bro, before you share the next one, what I just remembered, we were on Spartan campus. Z was 21. Okay. I was not 21. Okay. But I was kind of jacked at the time with a big beard. And it was in the summer. And this cop runs up on me and Z, bro. We both had a beer. Just like looks at us both. Grabs Z, gives him an open intox, bro. When I wasn't even 21 yet, never said nothing to me. We had to go. Yeah, we had to go home.
My foot on the sidewalk.
We had to go home and tell our parents, bro. Hey, Z just got in trouble again.
It's the wrong place.
Z just got in trouble again. He's like, well, did you get in trouble? Mason wasn't there with you? He's like, no, he's standing right next to me, bro. Yeah. And I'm the one.
And you got out of it?
I just got out of it, bro. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
I'm trouble enough. No, I wasn't doing bad stuff. I wasn't doing anything.
You're being a kid. I mean,
being a kid.
But I got enough trouble for my brother and my sister. I got enough trouble for everybody. So another story I'll tell real quick is when we were younger, we would go outside and we would play basketball in our driveway every day. And then sometimes we'd go meet up with the other kids in our neighborhood. We'd play a little 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, whatever. Whoever hoop it was, whatever height it was. Sometimes it's lower. We're dunking, doing crazy stuff outside.
Yeah.
But I remember one day, me and Mace were outside all morning, and we must have played 1-on-1 30 times. And I beat him 30 times.
You were pissed.
30 times.
We don't guard each other anymore for this.
And he beat me the 31st time. And act like he won the NBA championship. And ran inside. Cause I was like, when you lose, you're like, run it back.
Yeah.
Play again. Like,
he said, nah, we're done.
No. He was done for the day. He got his win on game 31 or whatever it was, 27, whatever the game was, after so many times that it pissed me off. Cause I was like, I just beat him all these times and I'm ending on a loss. And he beat me. And he was able to beat me. So, different things like that, man. I remember that sticking out, and
that's hilarious.
That was just so funny. We would play with our neighbors and everybody. Dude,
it was a gift for me, as you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a gift for me. It's crazy what I think about with all of our kids, because like we walk inside of a restaurant right now with our wives and kids,
you
and
guys
us
are
do
a
party of 10, right?
Yeah, party of 10.
Six kids, and like him and I are deep into my oldest son Kane's hoop journey right now. If there's very few times that I can't be there, like the only person Kane wants there is his Uncle Z, right? So we're deep into it with Kane right now. But I catch myself reminding myself that I was the youngest of an entire bloodline, bro. And I had Z as my older brother. Mm-hmm. And like I have a 4-year-old. He has a 1-year-old. We don't even know what it's going to be like for them. But I do know one thing. They are favored, bro. Because of all of the gift of being the younger sibling. Like, it's crazy. You see all these dudes in the league who their dad and their older brother was in the league. You didn't really know they were in the league, and these dudes are all-stars. Or you see these guys who own companies and you don't know anything about their family, but like their dad or their older brother or their uncle or somebody was a business owner a long time ago that tripled that dripped down on them. And now here they are in the Forbes top 40. Like that gift is insane. So
I think that was the advantage for Mace growing up. Because he never acted like or treated himself like he was younger than the squad we were hanging with, no matter what. So once you hang and you're with that little bit older crowd or a little bit even more mature, you go around people at your own age and you start comparing things at your own age or wherever you're, graduating or you're at or whatever. It ends up being an advantage that way.
That's the thing too, like getting out of college, and we can wrap it up here soon too. But it's like getting out of college, like, I mean, I'm in my mid-20s, but like all my friends are in their 30s and 40s that I talk to on a daily basis. So it's like age does not matter. Dude, age does not matter. And
mid-20s.
I was like, I don't know what.
Yeah, age does not matter, and we're always learning. Doesn't matter how old you are, you're always learning. You're always trying to improve yourself. So once you're in the real world, it's being resourceful.
Amen to that.
Doesn't matter. So,
amen to that. Well,
appreciate you, boys.
Today, this one meant a lot to me.
Too.
We're so grateful you were able to get on here with us, Z. We have some incredible guests for the next couple months already booked. So some amazing episodes coming. I hope you guys liked seeing my brother on here with us being a little bit vulnerable here today. If you like this, please share, tap in with us. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram. We appreciate you.
Second season starts now.